In this video, we're going to take a look of how we can use the query annotation in order to specify the SQL that we want to execute. So basically, currently, let's say this find all by name method is using the method name to generate SQL in the background. But what if you want to specify your own SQL? So you can do that by using the query annotation. And right here, you can specify your query. Now there's a specific query language that you can use here in the JPA repositories, which is this one. So that's specified here in the documentation. It's similar to a lot of other SQL variants, but this one, for example, uses, let's just do a simple select query. So we're gonna do a select P product. So let's kind of take it. P from product entity. So now you want to specify the product entity right here. This is you want to specify the name of the class. So we're selecting from product entity, and then we're using we can specify a condition like this. So we can specify, for example, P where P dot name is equal to, and then with a question mark and 1, we could specify that we are gonna be substituting this value here for the parameter that's passed here into the method. So now instead of generating an implementation in the background, like instead of generating an SQL query in the background, we're explicitly saying that this is the query that we want. Now this again would get translated into a PostgreSQL query, but if you, this is how that would work. For example, if you maybe had a different database that has a specific syntax, this is not that syntax, so this will again get translated into the specific database syntax. But if you do want to use a specific syntax here, you can specify a parameter called native query, and you can specify that to true. Now in this case, this query here would have to be native to the database you're working on. So the SQL dialect is going to have to be the one that the SQL database uses. But for the purposes of this demonstration, we're not going to use the native query option. So we're going to use this query option. I'm going to go ahead and restart the application, and we're going to see that we're going to have the same behavior. So basically, we're going to have the same behavior, just the implementation is slightly different here. We're using the query annotation, and we're not relying on the method name implementation. So now in this case, you could name your method very differently from this, and it would still work. So I'm going to go to Postman right now, and we're going to go on the same route that finds all of the products with the name that we pass here. And I'm going to click send. And as you can see, we're getting back those two products, which the name matches them. If I try something that we don't have, like test 1, 2, 3, 4, if I click send, we're getting an empty array. If I try it with test name again, we're going to get back the two products that we have with that name. And if I fetch all the products, you can see that we're not fetching this here one because that doesn't match the name, but the other two we are getting because they're matching the name criteria. So this is another way of how you can specify your SQL in the JPA repository, and that's going to be it for this video.